What a friend we have in Jesus. All our
The following program was pre-recorded to be aired at this time. Material contained therein could be time-sensitive, meaning it could be early, expired, or late. Listeners are advised to pay close attention to the details of the program. Again, this program is pre-recorded. Views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the host and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of JJLN Radio. Time now is 7 p.m. Normally here would be the Lady G Show, but taking the place of Lady G Show is the Angel Cafe with Kathy Navin. That's right, from now on you're going to be able to tune into this program Saturdays at 7 p.m. And then it's going to be retelecast the next 6 days, 24 hours a day. The Angel's Cafe with Kathy Navin. The phone lines are open. You can call in and be a part of the show by dialing 1-888-778-1436. That's 1-388-778-1436. And you can also contribute to support the show financially by using the world-famous silver button at the top left-hand corner of the viewing portal you're now watching. The show will be recorded, so a DVD and audio CDs will be available. We'll talk about that more later, but right now, here we go into the facilities of JJLN Radio, into the studios of BlueMarymare.net for the Angels Cafe with Kathy Navin.
Hello, how are you world tonight? I'm really happy to be with you. We are having a great show tonight. We have two very distinguished guests from Palo Verde High School, and tonight we're going to be talking about the United States Air Force Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. We will come back and introduce our distinguished guests, but right now we're going to have Captain Doughty say hello to our world audience.
Good evening, everyone.
And we're going to have Cadet Madeleine Doughty say hello to our world audience.
Hello.
So anyway, we're going to begin with a prayer then. All right. God our Father, please bless our show tonight, our guests, our armed forces, and our global audience. Let us impart to each other helpful information. I pray that our global audience will find the show both inspiring and educational. Our nation benefits immensely by our JROTC program. Thank you, God, for this opportunity to share. Amen.
Give her the
retired captain. He's a distinguished Senior Aerospace Science Instructor at Palo Verde High School here in Las Vegas, Nevada. He served for 22 years in our country for the in the U.S. Airforce. His daughter sitting to the left of me is Cadet Madeleine Doughty. She is a distinguished second-year cadet. She has been Cadet of the Month twice, Cadet of the Quarter once, and Cadet of the Year once. I interviewed this young lady regarding the MLK Day Parade a couple years ago, and let me tell you, she's one of our brightest shining stars right here, a young cadet, and I'm so proud to have her here, and I'm proud to have Captain Doughty here. We're going to start right away with Captain Doughty. Sir, tell us a little bit about your Navy career and what did you do while you were in the military?
Air Force.
Air Force. Oh, Air Force career. Thank you for correcting me, sir.
Well, I spent 20 years on active duty. I went in enlisted, then I went to school at night and got commissioned after 10 years on active duty. I had the privilege of serving in Europe, Germany. I got to go all over Asia,
Oh.
stationed
Wow.
Guam, Hawaii, all over the United States. When I was enlisted, I worked on electronic repair. All the equipment they used to fix the airplanes, I would fix that equipment. So
Wow.
when they went out there. And then when I got commissioned, I was in intelligence.
My goodness, so you've had quite a prestigious career, and you served at prestigious commands.
Well, it was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Well, I was a military brat. I got to live in Hawaii and in Japan and in Germany. So there's some pluses to that military life, isn't there?
There is. I think everybody should do it, and you appreciate what you have here. When you go overseas and you see how everybody else has to live,
Oh, yeah.
we are definitely blessed and lucky to be in this country.
Yeah, I think I did come back, and I wanted to kiss the soil many times, like some songs say, when I ride back. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
That-
We were flying back from Germany,
Uh-huh.
in that big airplane. It was nothing but military. As soon as the pilot came on and said, "Congratulations, everyone, you're back in the U.S."
Screamed.
Everybody just...
I understand that, and you're right. So, well, we have appreciation for you for your service, the sacrifices. Military people make a lot of sacrifices for us, and they leave their families. But before we ask Madeleine a question, I want you to tell us, what does JROTC mean to the people out there that have no idea?
JROTC is a program for high school kids, whereas the ROTC program is a program for college kids.
Okay.
And JROTC stands for Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. And to me, the interesting thing about JROTC is that JROTC is congressionally mandated. It's federal law that the Air Force has to have a JROTC program.
Wow.
The Air Force may have an ROTC program, but they have to have a JROTC program.
That's great.
Because Congress they saw what value it gives to the kids.
Yes.
And the mission as promulgated in federal law is to build better citizens for America.
Wow.
So
Boy, did you hear that information? And we're going to go right to Captain Doughty said something about the values for the young people. So we're going to go over here to Madeleine, Cadet Madeleine Doughty, and ask her, can you tell us what the core values are of the JROTC student?
Well, there's quite a few of the core values, but some of my most important ones are competence, integrity, courage, and respect.
Wow.
Especially service, though, and patriotism. That's a big one for JROTC and ROTC and the service.
Well, what I noted about ROTC students is they still know what the word respect means. I mean, I think actually it should be mandatory to have you go to take a ROTC
I
class.
agree. I think every high school kid should have to do at least a year in ROTC.
Yeah, so people, if you're out there listening, we want parents to be watching this program tonight and discuss with other people why ROTC is a good choice. So tell us a little bit about, does ROTC keep you so busy you don't have time to for your other studies? Or what's the demands of ROTC?
Well, there's different things. So we have our special teams, which is Color Guard, Unarmed, and Armed. I'm on Color Guard, so that means a lot more work for the program. But other than that, you're in flight, so mostly community service activities, awards, things like that. It keeps you busy. It definitely keeps you busy, especially if you're in leadership positions. As a Color Guard senior member, and I have my own competition team, I spend a lot of time for ROTC. A lot of my free time goes to Color Guard and my team. It takes a lot.
Well, tell me, what does Color Guard do? Do they carry flags? I don't know what they do yet.
Color Guard is the team responsible for carrying the American flag,
Oh,
and
wow.
then we carry the Nevada flag and the Airforce flag. But they're responsible for honoring the flag, and they do presentations all over town. They do the football games at school, assemblies. We do conventions downtown, and the marching and parades.
Wow, so that's quite a wonderful thing to tribute to any young person to carry the flags.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why patriotism is so important. Every time someone carries a flag, not a lot of people get to do that, especially civilians, regular civilians.
So let me ask you, Cadet Dowdy, are you planning a military career after school?
I'm definitely thinking about it. My dad is a big influence for
Sure, yes.
that military career. If I did, I would definitely join the Air Force.
Good. I love all the branches, but I love
Yes.
Air Force, yes. Okay. And if you go to 4 years of ROTC, can you go into the military with any kind of a rank?
If they do 2 years in ROTC, they can go in as E2. So they automatically jump up one rank. If they do 3 or 4 years, then they get E3. So, and that's as soon as they sign on the line. If you go, other programs the Air Force has where if you sign up for 6 years, they'll give you E3. But that's not until you graduate basic. So you're 6 weeks behind the ROTC kids.
Oh, okay.
And I believe ROTC, it'll make your first 2 weeks of basic training so much easier. Because the first 2 weeks, like I went in and I had no ROTC experience.
Yeah.
So the first 2 weeks is shock. Like,
I'm sure.
being ordered around all the time. The clothes are kind of weird that you have to wear, you think. But ROTC prepares you for those first 2 weeks. And because of that, usually the ROTC kids are the ones who are the squad leaders.
They're ahead already. What a great thing to get ahead. And how about, I always see you at parades or something, and you have this crisp, smart-looking uniform. Do they give that to you free? Do you buy it? What
They
happens
do
there?
give the uniform to us for free, but we do have to return it at the end of each year to make sure, because not everyone's very trustful.
Okay, now, what percentage, I guess, in every year, do you have like 300 students? How many in a class, like, altogether in 1 year?
Right now we have about 225 kids in our program. Some units are smaller, some units are larger. It all depends upon, for example, Rancho is the aerospace magnet school for Clark County. So they have a lot of kids in their program because a lot of kids go there just for the aerospace.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think they have 300 or 400 in their program.
But you're an aerospace science instructor, correct?
Correct. That's what the title they give us. Because, for example, the Navy units, they're called Naval Science Instructors.
Okay.
So we have about 225 kids. This year we have approximately 35 seniors. 24 of them have spent, are on our honors class. So they run the program,
Oh, okay.
the day-to-day activities. And I think right now we have 5 or 6 of them who've expressed an interest in going into the military.
Wow, that's impressive.
3 of them are applying for the academy.
Wow. Okay. Now, you had 22 years and then you retired. Had you planned to go into ROTC instructor, or what happened? What got you there?
Right before I retired, I started taking classes at UNLV to get the graduate licensure program, to get a license to teach here in Clark County.
Oh, okay.
And then my wife, she was a counselor at El Dorado, and they were helping Centennial set up their program.
Okay.
So I went up there for open house with her, and I sat through the El Dorado did the...
Excuse me, sir, we're going to break, but we're going to come back and continue talking about El Dorado.
It's